Both monsters barreled towards the Dark Knight. Batman dodged the pigman's attack and performed a high kick, sending the chicken-headed beast flying into a haystack. The hero threw punches and kicks at the pigman, but it dodged each one. The monster charged again as Batman dropped to the ground. He swung one leg around, knocking the beast down. The pigman leaped to his feet before Batman could attack again. Meanwhile, the chicken monster climbed out of the hay and rushed towards Shaggy and Scooby. The two ran to the other side of the tractor to get away. The beast chased them around and around until Scooby-Doo was able to get free. The chicken-headed monster kept going after Shaggy. "Like, I promise I'll never eat fried chicken again if you let me leave," Shaggy cried. Shaggy snatched up a rag as he ran and swung it at the monster. The chicken man didn't seem to care as it moved in. It grabbed the end of the rake and held tight. "Ready!" Scooby shouted. "Over here!" He held a rope leading up to a pulley and down to 3 bales of hay tied together. "Like, I hope you have a plan," Shaggy said as he edged closer to his friend. The beast snarled as it held to the other end of the rake. When Shaggy was near, Scooby-Doo untied the rope. It held the line tightly with one paw and grabbed Shaggy with the other. Shaggy let go of the rake, and the chicken beast stumbled backwards. Whirr! Shaggy and Scooby-Doo were jerked off the ground and sailed towards the top of the barn. The weight of 3 heavy hay bales at the other end of the ropes pulled them up. He, Scooby giggled. "Rust like Redman." The two friends landed safely in the hayloft. "That's Batman," the Dark Knight corrected. He landed a punch on the pig monster, sending it flying towards the chicken man. The two beasts stood in the center of the barn as Scooby let go of the rope. Smash! The bales of hay landed on the monster. They were knocked out cold. Shaggy and Scooby-Doo slid down the ladder as the fog cleared out of the old barn. The two beast men now looked like regular men wearing rubber animal masks. Batman reached down to remove one of the masks. Excuse me, Mr. Batman, sir," Shaggy said. "You can't do that yet." Batman glared up at him. "Why not?" Shaggy fidgeted with his hands. "Because we usually unmask the bad guys when we are all together." "Yeah," Scooby agreed. The Dark Knight shook his head and reached for the mask anyway. His hands froze as a scream came from the house next door. "That sounds like Daphne," Shaggy said. There was another scream. "And Fred," Shaggy added. "One more scream." "And Velma," Scooby finished, leaving the masked men where they lay. Batman ran out the barn with Shaggy and Scooby close behind. As they neared the house, the outside cellar door burst open. Fred, Daphne, and Velma ran up the steps into the yard. Fred whirled around and slammed the doors behind him. "Spiders," Daphne shivered. "Giant creepy spiders." Batman moved closer to the cellar door. "Spiders, huh?" The crime fighter flung open the door, ready for an attack. None came. He pulled a torch from his utility belt and edged down the steps. The rest of the gang cautiously followed the Dark Knight into the cellar. "The spiders are gone," Fred said. "And so is the creepy fog," Velma added. And so Shaggy looked over the lab equipment. "Like, what does your friend do down here, Fred?" Fred shook his head. I have a feeling Kevin doesn't know anything about all this stuff. Batman picked up one of the beakers and sniffed the dark liquid inside. The fog was in here too, he asked. Velma nodded. She shined her torch towards the open window. It must have come in through there. Like we saw the same creepy fog in the barn, Shady said, just before those monsters attacked. More monsters? Asked Daphne. Scooby nodded. Rare. A Rick and a Ricken. He shivered. Very scary. Velma smiled and crossed her arms. I bet the fog is a clue. I think you're right, Batman agreed. He spun towards the exit. Let's get to the bottom of this. Everyone followed Batman up the cellar stairs. When they emerged into the yard, they were just in time to see two figures run out of the barn. One wore a pig mask and the other that of a chicken. They disappeared into a nearby cornfield. They don't look like monsters, Daphne said. Shady shrugged and laughed nervously. Well, I guess you had to be there. But those two will have answers, Batman said, as he ran after them. Bad guy chase, Daphne shouted. I'm in. She sprinted after the Dark Knight. Me too, Fred said as he followed. Soon all three disappeared between the rows of tall corn. Shady crossed his arm. Like I don't know about you, pal, but I am staying right here. Rue said it, Scooby agreed, crossing his arms as well. Good, Velma said. You can help me find more clues, and we can start with that. She pointed to the nearby woods. As more eerie fog crept out from between the trees, Shady and Scooby gulped loudly.